Hi, Jason here from TGN. Alright, so today as you can see that we will be covering the topic on Peplink. Okay, I'm sure that most of you have Peplink routers and you are worried about how do you secure your routers. Okay, so today I'm going to go through some of the white paper that has been written by Peplink to cover on these aspects, especially on security. Okay, and at the same time I'll be doing a live demonstration as to how do you harden and secure your router. Okay, so let's move on and let's go where we can find the white paper in the Peplink website. Okay, so as you can see over here, okay, we have the browser. Okay, so I'm going to look at the Peplink website itself. All right, so where do I get defense in depth? Okay, so this is over at solution and technology. Next to technology on the Peplink security, all you have to do is just click on Peplink security and you basically load onto this page where we cover on defense in depth. Okay, so there's this white paper, okay, which you can download. All right, so it basically covers all the different layers of defense that you can have against potential intrusion. Okay, I will cover this paper later. All right, so as we move down on the page, okay, Peplink covers more on the client layer. We talk about when you have gas network involved, there will be isolation. When you have a unauthorized access point, okay, the Peplink router will also show up and detect. Okay, and of course then you have your centralized VLAN management, okay, which you can cover on your client layer. All right, so as we go down, we can see on the router layer what do you have. Okay, on the router itself you will have your web blocking. Okay, so some of them will have basic, some of them have slightly more advanced depending on the model. All right, now in terms of firewall and outbound policy, of course you can also set it up. We're not going to cover that today. Okay, and last but not least, on some of the models, especially the high ends, you will have your DPI application filtering. Okay, now as we move down, you have your intrusion detection and your DOS protection. Also, of course, don't forget your patches. Okay, do remember to update your firmware. Okay, and always as usual there will always be release note written about the firmware updates. Okay, now as for the sd-wan layer, okay, Peplink covers, okay, of course on the security side, all sessions are separated and it's all encrypted with 256 AES. Okay, so don't worry about it. From WAN to WAN, all of it is encrypted. Okay, now on the cloud layer you will have your traffic security, your segmentation, your patches, and then your third-party integration for security. Okay, now for administrative layer, always remember, make sure you manage your administration password properly. Okay, and then in terms of your boundaries, okay, make sure that it's all well managed. Okay, and last but not least, the next one is we have to look into is the compliance portion. Okay, so how do you secure the router? Where's the documentation to help you basically to secure a router? Okay, it's found over here at the PCI DSS version 3.2 compliance for securing. Okay, over here where you learn more, all you have to do is just click on it and you will load up the PDF. Okay, so you just go scroll down and you can download the guide. All right, so I have the guide in my second tab over here. Okay, so all you have to do is just browse through. Okay, as you scroll down, you'll see the table of content. All right, and it basically covers you on the recommendations for configuration. All right, what are some of the steps that you can do to secure your router? Okay, so this is something that we will cover in depth for today's video. All right, now back to the defense in depth paper. Okay, so as I was talking to you about it earlier, do download this PDF and read through on the security white paper that's being done by Peplink. Okay, it's a very useful white paper for you to go through. It will cover with you all the different aspects and layers for the network. Okay, and it covers as per normal, like what I mentioned earlier, what are the stuff and what are the functionalities that you can use and do to protect your router. Okay, so let's jump back into the topic for today, which is covering the PCI hardening of the router. Okay, so over here, the first steps we got to do is make sure that the router has the latest firmware. Okay, which is what we will go through later. And then we got to change the default username password. All right, try not to use the default username password. And also secure the WAN configuration. So how do we do that? And of course also to set up the firewall configuration. Okay, so we are not going to do the VLAN portion for today, or neither do we cover the wireless network. So all you have to do is just scroll down to page 11 of the documentation, and you will start and see how it's being done. So first and foremost, all right, make sure that after you log into your router, you change the password. Okay, after you change the password, make sure you update the firmware. All right, so all this has to be done in tandem and all accordingly. Okay, which I will show you and do it for you. All right, and after which you will see that how do we secure the WAN configuration. Okay, securing the WAN configuration will come in part to disable the UPnP, the universal plug and play, and also the NAT PnP. Okay, so that can be found in the advanced and port forwarding, which I will demonstrate and show you in our router that we'll be using today. And next, we will disable the WAN from ability to ping the response. Okay, and at the same time, we have to disable web administration from the WAN. Okay, so that's under the admin security. Okay, so let me go through in access my router to go through all these steps that I just mentioned to you. Okay, so as usual, I'll be using a MAX router, and basically what happens is, as default, okay, we know that it is admin. Okay, so I'm going to go in. After you access the router, all right, immediately for a brand new router out of the box, it will ask you for the current password, and then followed by, to be sure, you have to enter a new password. Okay, the new password has to be at least 10 characters, okay, with lower and uppercase and numbers. All right, so you got to make sure that you have 10 numbers to go with. All right, so in my case, I'm going to go with, okay, I'm not going to be telling you what's my password. Okay, all right, so double check and make sure that it is correct, and now it has been changed. Okay, all right, so after it's been changed, it will basically divert you to the main page. Okay, as usual, earlier what we have done is we have to next step check if it's the firmware is the latest. All you have to do is click on system. All right, so over here you see that I've gone to the system and I click on firmware. Okay, you got to check and let the system make sure you have the WAN internet connection. Okay, and you will check for the latest firmware. If it's not the latest, it will suggest to you if you want to download. If it's the latest, it will check and let you know if it's the latest. Okay, so all you have to do is just click on check firmware. All right, if it's the latest, it will tell you, or else, like for example in our case, we have a new version which is 8.1.2, okay, which is just released recently. All you have to do is you can download and upgrade. Okay, so I'm not going to do that due to time constraint. Okay, but over here, just a quick demonstration that it can be done. All right, so be sure to make sure that you update to the latest firmware so that you are secured. All right, so that's one thing. Okay, the next one is, after securing the firmware, we have changed the default username password. All right, to do that, we can also go to system and we go to admin. Okay, admin security. Here is where you can change your admin username. Okay, so for the purpose of the video, I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to leave it, but just to show you where you can do it. You can click on admin security, change your admin username, and also you can change your admin user password. Okay, so let's not do anything else. All right, so once that's done, you can scroll down. All right, the next thing that we want to do to secure the WAN is to make sure that we go to advanced and port forwarding. Okay, so when we go to advanced and we go to port forwarding, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we do not enable UPnP and we do not enable NAT PnP. Okay, turn off UPnP and turn off your NAT PnP. Okay, the next one that we're going to do is we're going to disable WAN ping response. Okay, so that it will be harder to discover by network pings. Okay, so where do we do that? Okay, let's take a look at our WAN connection. Okay, we go to details. All right, we got to make sure that we do not respond to the ICMP pings. Okay, so let me see where okay, do not reply to ICMP pings. Okay, no. All right, so you got to click from yes to no. All right, and then the next thing you got to do is remember to apply, save and apply. Okay, do not reply to any pings. Okay, now the next one is you got to disable the web administration from the WAN. All right, to do that, similarly can be found at system and admin security. All you have to do is click on system admin security, okay, and we have to make sure that it is only web admin access on LAN only, okay. As you can see here, suggest to only LAN only, okay, which is already done by default, okay. Do not enable WAN to have administration rights, okay. So that is another one way to secure your router. Okay, so I've gone through some of the very basic steps to harden and secure a router. All right, as of course, if you have any particular firewall requirements, okay, you can of course set up further more firewall rules, okay, and also you can further segment your network by using VLANs. Okay, so VLANs, of course, if it's possible, you can further segmentize your network. Okay, so this in itself is a very quick video of how we can secure our Peplink router. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to write in the comments. We will definitely reply your comments. All right, and also if you like the video, please remember to click like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.